It's only been a few weeks since Danny left his Amish family, and the old greenhouse at the edge of town is now the center of Danny's new world. But his language is still old world.
So Danny, what's the name? Wow. Time to get up.
All of the Amish teens we met have a strong work ethic, and that includes Danny, who took a construction job as soon as he left his family.
Doing real good, and he is not afraid to work, so that's always encouraging.
Working hard during the week and partying hard on the weekends.
Hey, Danny, how do you like your girlfriend?
Oh, wow.
Here comes the Three Stooges together.
Yeah.
For the most part, Danny's friends are all former Amish teens, brothers and sisters in arms, as it were. Still, the learning curve for Danny has been pretty steep.
So, Danny, how you like your cell phone?
I like it if I know how to use it.
Ready? I'm getting you the basics.
In a matter of days, Danny notched a number of firsts. First time to use a TV remote.
Here, you press the buttons if you want different channels. Like if you want to go to 522, you press 522. You won't get your work done if you sit here and watch TV.
Just go real slow.
First time driving a truck. First time doing his taxes.
I keep my recipes, and then I don't have to pay as much tax. So.
Oh, your receipts. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
receipts, yeah.
I gotcha.
Watching Danny and any of these teens navigate the modern world, you might think the experience would be completely alien to most Amish. But those postcard scenes of simplicity we've all come to know only show part of the story.
We did a lot of things that we shouldn't have done.
Our two elders who agreed to a silhouetted interview remember very well their own teenage years.
Well, we went to movies, and that was against the law, you know. Then by the time I was 20 or 21, I got a car. Well, the last one I had was a 64 T-Bird.
That's quite an image, an Amish farmer driving a 64 T-Bird.
It was a nice car.
Suddenly, our 18-year-old friend Nelson's souped-up buggy doesn't seem so out of place.
AC/DC.
What does Slow-Mo Rumble think about AC/DC?
She's used to it.
As Nelson pulled the buggy into a turnabout by the river, it struck us that for a young man on the verge of deciding whether to stay or leave his community, he sure seems content.
I just wish I could stay 17 or 18 my whole life.
Really? Why?
It's just a fun life.
So in other words, these are the best days of your life.
Yes, yes they are.
Now, not everybody can say that. That's great.
Lena, for instance, is struggling. Beneath her weekend-long binges, a deep frustration is growing with having to choose between her old way of life and her newfound freedom.
You're frustrated. You're angry about having to make this decision. What do you do to blow off steam?
Drink beer. That's what I do. I got mad. I just want to go drink.
Do you think you're drinking too much?
Not really. Enough to make me happy.
But happy is not how Lena sounds.
No, some Amish are pretty good, but down here in my church, I hate them. Tell you the truth. They're nothing to me.
What does matter to Lena is a young man named Reuben.
He's funny. I love him.
And the feeling is mutual.
Tell me why.
I don't know. I mean, I just...
She's cute.
Yeah, she's my kind of girl, I think.
Falling in love, of course, is a teenage rite of passage. But within the Amish community, it's also the first step to finding a mate who shares your faith. Though for now, Lena and Reuben seem content to just share a beer. And raise a toast to Danny. His 19th birthday just happened to coincide with his 1-month anniversary in the outside world.
Happy birthday!
And it was capped off with a rare present, a driver's license.
I want to get my driver's license today. It's a new experience. I was used to horse and buggy and had to take my test 2 times. Now I'm ready to go out and drive, I guess.
Still not all is well in Danny's world. It began almost as soon as he left home, with a wistfulness as he rode by old farms and friends.
Hey, there's someone do it. Elmer Weaver's voice. Right there is where I used to live.
Like any teen, there's no quick remedy for homesickness, and the disease is especially acute among the Amish, whose family bonds rarely break.
Hi, Danny. We always think of you. We aren't having fun without you. Our thoughts are always with you. Please come home soon. A lonely sister, Irma.
But Danny is not coming home.
Teardrops fell on Mama's note when I read the things she wrote.
Somewhere between lonely and bored, a boy can lose his way. Night's falling, and Danny is on the road to trouble.
Mr. Troyer, I want to have a little discussion with you. You're a former member of the Amish faith. Just what's going on here? What are you guys up to?
You know there's a lot of young men in this house even before you go inside.
Hello? I'm buying fish.
But the place is still full of surprising stories about their lives before leaving the Amish.
First time I drove horse and buggy by myself,
Yeah.
I was going down the wrong side of the road.
You went the wrong side of the road?
Brothers Ben and Eli have been living in the outside English world for more than a year now.
This is how I looked when I was Amish, I guess.
That's how you looked.
Yup. Except I had a lot longer hair.
Who made the shirt?
My mom.
Your mom made the shirt
Yep.
and the vest? All that?
Yeah, she made everything.
All the clothes. Why do you keep these clothes?
I just keep them. Some, like when I went back to my sister's wedding, I wore them.
Though Eli's family has allowed him to return for big family events, it's more common for these former Amish teens to feel unwelcome in their parents' homes.
Right now we're going out Amish country. We'll see where my parents live and some of my friends' stuff.
Harley, for example, homesick and looking for work, returned briefly this year to his local community, just to be near his family.
I go past home a lot on my way to work. Like I see the little ones out and around, but very seldom speak to them.
Even so, Harley managed to sneak home a couple of times.
My one little brother, he was about a year old when I left. And every time I come home, when I walk in the door, he runs up yelling my name. You gonna stay home this time? Gotta tell him no.
And eventually, the little guy forgot who Harley was.
He didn't really recognize you?
Not really. So I went upstairs, put on an Amish shirt and a straw hat. I came back downstairs, I opened the door, he looked at me and said my name and came running.
This is a picture of Harley on the day he left his family.
Do you think of yourself as Amish?
No, I mean, that's water under the bridge for me.
It is.
In their most honest moments, the boys living in this house will tell you that in addition to their bouts of loneliness, there's anger. Anger at having to choose between freedom and their families. And it's a short step from anger to trouble.
Danny gave.
In a matter of weeks, early last summer, the Amish here in Ashland County suddenly became targets in a rash of vandalism.
Throwing beer cans at Amish buggies and throwing trash.
Captain Carl Reichert and Deputy Cindy Benner were called in on more than a dozen incidents against the Amish.
Rocks through the windows.
Rocks through the windows?
During church services.
Around that same time, our cameras began capturing a side of Danny we had not seen before.
We're going out past the Amish and we're going to jam them up.
Instead of stopping to talk to the Amish, He's aggressive and taunts them with loud music.
They think I'm in a different world than they are.
It seems an invisible wall now separates Danny from his old life.
They think if I would die, I can't go to heaven. I mean, I might not go to heaven, but not every Amish is going to heaven either.
In midsummer, another more serious act of vandalism strikes the Amish community. Someone sets an Amish buggy on fire.
They started a buggy on fire. What's next? A house? You know, or the barn?
The deputies don't wait to find out. The violence shows a clear pattern.
So whoever was involved in the first incident was also involved in the buggy burning?
Correct.
Who was that?
Danny Troyer.
When our cameras were not around, Danny Troyer was apparently at the center of these anti-Amish incidents.
All right, we are on the Danny Troyer case.
In January, Danny is brought into court on 3 separate charges: criminal damage, criminal trespassing, and criminal mischief. Joe Kime, the minister who helped Danny after he ran away from his family, is outside the courtroom.
You know, at first when they leave, they experience all this freedom and they really don't know how to live within freedom. And then they find out that the rules out here, you break them out here, and it's a lot worse than it is at home.
Mr. Troyer, before we go any further, I have to make sure you're doing this voluntarily, and I have to make sure you know all the rights that you're giving up by pleading no contest.
While Danny admits that he was involved in the buggy burning, he and his lawyer contend another young man actually lit the fire.
Something, yeah, maybe, but did he think he's going to burn a buggy? Absolutely not.
Mr. Troyer, I want to have a little discussion with you. You're a former member of the Amish faith, is that right? Just what's going on here? What are you guys up to?
We were just driving around and looking and having fun.
Danny's answers don't move the judge. He sentences him to jail.
You will be serving 30 days. I don't want any activity that constitutes harassment of the Amish in this community. You understand that?
Yeah.
Danny Troyer's year-long frolic with freedom has come to an end. His antics against the Amish, his own community, have landed him behind bars.
You will be serving 30 days. I have a feeling going to jail is going to have a pretty serious impact on him. He'll think twice before he tries to get in any further problem again.
Perhaps, but even in jail, Danny remains a young man full of contradictions, sometimes defiant.
If I do it again, I make sure nobody finds it out.
Sometimes boastful to his cellmates.
I tell them I'm in here for burning an Amish buggy. They get a kick out of that. It happened to be my uncle's buggy, and he used to be an ass to about everybody in Ashland. And just happened to be the right buggy.
And sometimes he's even spiritual.
I believe in God, yeah. I'm sure he was watching over me, but probably thinks it's a punishment for me or whatever.
After 30 days in the county jail last winter, Danny returns to the old greenhouse. Oddly, the ringtone on his cell phone now rings all too true.
Hello? No shit. You learn a bunch of stuff in jail, man. Maybe I don't want to say it in front of the camera. I don't know.
Are you a troublemaker?
If I'm a troublemaker?
Are you?
I might be.
You set a buggy on fire.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we wanted something to do.
What's going on with you?
We're just having fun, I guess.
Well, are you mad at somebody?
No, I'm not mad or anything.
But your idea of fun is not fun to them. I'd like a serious answer.
I don't know.